Hey, this is Gregory Brown from Cycling Weekly. We're here at the 2018 Giro d'Italia to talk to some of the riders about the climb last week, Monte Zoncolan. Is Monte Zoncolan the hardest stage in cycling? And if not, what is? We're here in the team bus parking area. Some rain clouds are above. We're gonna find out from the riders. Let's find a few riders and see what they think about the Monte Zoncolan. Of course, it has 22% pitches, averages 11.9%. It's a real hard sucker. So let's hear from the riders. Was that the hardest climb you've ever done, Adam?
It is the hardest climb, yes, that's for sure. I know, like, I was speaking to someone yesterday and I said it was super hard. I'm like, is it the highest? I was like, no. Is it the longest? No. Like, why is it so hard? It's so steep. It is so steep. Yeah. And it's so steep that the motorbikes, when they stop, all the fans had to push them to start because they couldn't get going, and you could smell the clutch from the motorbikes and that. It's so hard that the gruppetto doesn't stay together. It always gets split. They do come back together in the final because it's a bit flatter, but it's just everyone at their own.
Where normally on a climb the kilometers pass a lot faster, you're climbing at 15, 20k an hour, and so 3-4 minutes per k, and on the Zoncolan it was like 6 or 7 minutes per kilometer, just grinding your way up there. So yeah, definitely one of the hardest climbs I've ever done in a bike race, especially with 3,200 meters of climbing preceding the final climb.
Like for us who are not doing GC, it's we just take our own pace and we go to the top. But of course for the GC guys, they just have to go flat out. And
right at the bottom there, my bike went into what's called crash mode. You can get out of it sometimes, but if you hold the button down, but when you're going at 15% uphill, it goes down to the 11 and you're stuck in there. So spent a long time fixing that. Anger is a gift sometimes, and keep a bit more fire in your belly. It can go either way, And at the moment, I'm still ready to fight, and we'll see how crucial it is in Rome.
The pavement's good, well surfaced. It's just very consistently steep, but it's not like you're gonna have 25% out of nowhere. So I would say definitely up there with some of the hardest climbs I've done, but for me, I think Angliru is the hardest.
I don't know. I have been in other climbs around maybe South America, in which the altitude is also very important in 2,000 meters. So I think this is really hard mountain, but maybe not the hardest one.
But I would just say that it's one of the hardest, that's for sure, with Angliru. But also I would say for me it's more mythic. It's that the last kilometer after you enter in the tunnels and then those gallerias and then you go there and then you see all those people, for me was the most impressive climb.
Spingy. Say this to the spectators, you get a push.
Spingy.
Yeah.
And they were pushing a lot yesterday.
Oh, good deal, yeah. it was very well received.
As a casual fan, would you recommend someone to come out and ride it for fun?
No. Nah. I don't think that's enjoyable at all, that climb. Like, we had the most ridiculous gears on, 34, 32. And like I was crawling up there sometimes like 4k an hour. Like, why do you want to do that?
We just heard from the riders about what makes Monte Zoncolan so difficult. We're going to find some more cyclists around here, some journalists, some race insiders on what is the most difficult part, the toughest part in the third week of a Grand Tour, because the third week of a Grand Tour is difficult. I know we're all worn out. Everybody has a hard time in the third week. Even the cars driving around trying to find parking spots, they can't seem to find parking in the third week. The team bus drivers, they look tired. I look tired. So let's go find some riders talking about the third week of a Grand Tour, what makes it so tough.
Yeah, you know, after so many kilometers driving, you're 3,000 plus Ks driving, you're sick of driving, you're really sick of the guys you're traveling with. Every night, you have really no idea where you are, and you just really cannot wait until the race is finished.
So you go to Israel, you go from Israel to Sicily, and then travel with the boat. So the first week was really tough for the riders, but also for the staff. When you go towards the last week, it's tough, but from the other side you see also the end, and so it's also okay. And then my secret is to go for a walk every morning and do my exercise.
Of course, this year is the 4th week, so that is cycling is the love. The Giro and the Tour, they are of course the best race for the season, but for me, I miss the family. So the last week for a big tour is the family is a little bit missing. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's even easier because you know where you are at. The whole working atmosphere is flowing because, you know, we already been working 2 weeks together as a team. So I think it's even easier. I don't. To be honest, I don't see it's any worse things on the 3rd week than maybe it's more stressful in the beginning than not in the 3rd.
Stay focused, no? You have to be focused, you have to be, you know, you get a little bit tired, and then when you're tired, your focus goes a little bit down. So try to be sharp and good.
Today you got the time trial, tomorrow you got a really hard uphill start. So, you know, some guys, a couple of our guys had a day off yesterday, so today is their activation day ready for tomorrow because that's their job, you know. So you're having to sort of deal with different, at this time now, different sort of moods and preparation into the final week of getting them mentally ready, you know.
I would just say it's not as punchy as it is in the first week. And you feel it even in the bunch that some guys have given up, in the sense that it's easier to position at the front in the 3rd week, because week 1 you would think that everyone thinks they can win the GC, you know, like no one budges, no one gives an inch. But week 3, a lot of times, like, guys just, you know, they kind of don't care.
Guys are on cruise control.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, if you make it this far, I think everyone can make it all the way.
And you hold the record with something about around 100 Grand Tours in a row. Aren't you sick of these things?
Not yet. But there's been some mountains halfway. I'm like, yeah, home's a nice place, you know. I like my home.
No, I still have to survive until Rome, and I don't want to even think about to go home, because once you start to think about it in 3rd week, then I think your body just can say, okay, it was enough, it was hard enough, and so I just still keep the focus. And I don't think still too much about going home.
It's cutthroat every single day. So in the 3rd week, you're kind of starting to break down emotionally and mentally and physically as well. So yeah, but it's also a really cool part of the race where you get to kind of see what you're made of and where having a positive mentality can make a really big difference.
All right, well, there we heard it from the riders on the tough parts of the Grand Tour, the final 3rd week. Of course, it's difficult on everybody. We heard on the Monte Zoncolan what makes it so hard, and it probably is the toughest climb in cycling. At least I think so from watching on television. And yeah, if you like these videos, please comment down below. Let us know if you'd like to see more of this race coverage, perhaps in the upcoming Tour de France. We like producing them. Let us know what you think. Give it a thumbs up, share the videos with your friends, and just keep tuning in at Cycling Weekly. Thanks for watching. Take care.